Therapy dudes, take away your stress, put you in a good mood. If you had them over, they would eat up all your food. It's time for therapy dudes.
Hello, Andre.
Hello,
Happy
Dan.
Monday, beginning of February. We are
60
therapy
degrees.
dudes. Dan Fox, Andre Karkamaz, and we are. Well, before we get into it, we are proudly sponsored by Boulder Psychological Services. Check their website out, boulderpsychologicalservices.com, for lots of different resources to help your therapeutic process, to help you feel good, to help you feel mentally fit. Today, we're going to dig into one of those mental fitness topics, and this is about intention and focus. So, Andre, this is about managing our mind and managing where we put attention. And I'd like to just start off with a metaphor, which is the idea that, if you're in a large cave and you have a tiny flashlight where you can sort of rotate the head of the flashlight to make the circle of light wider or more narrow, right? And you can look at anywhere in the cave, but you can't illuminate the whole thing. And you can have a very, very narrow focus, or you can have a wider part, but you're still just kind of looking at one area at a time. This is kind of like our mind, right? What our mind is focusing on is one thing at a time. We can't simultaneously have two things that we're focusing on. We can go back and forth very quickly between different parts of our mind. So, teenagers like to say they can be on their phone and be driving at the same time. Research has proven that you're actually not simultaneously attending to both things. Your consciousness is kind of going quickly back and forth between those two things. So that would be like rattling the flashlight back and forth between two spots in the cave. But unlike cave exploration, where, we just kind of could shine the flashlight anywhere and not have any, particular habits of what we focus on, our mind does. And our mind, without intention, right? So this is about focus and intention. Our mind without intention tends to focus on the troublesome spots, on the things that we're worried about. A lot of this has to do with past and future instead of here and now. So it's easy to just keep reliving our past, going over things that we regret and that we wish we'd done differently, and things that still kind of affect us and feel painful, or the future. And there we're worried about things that could potentially go wrong, things that are stressful on the horizon. The mind's natural focus is not neutral emotionally. It's not evenly balanced between positive and negative stuff. It's looking for the stuff that stresses us out, with a bias for that because it's a survival mechanism, right? If we can identify things that are troublesome and dwell on them long enough, we might be able to neutralize whatever is threatening about them. This, of course, worked well when it was just a physical threat, but with all these psychological distresses, it can tend to lead to chronic anxiety, depression, and an ability to actually kind of accomplish goals that we set for our life. And right there, the idea of setting goals for our life, people spend far more time rehashing the past or worrying about the future than envisioning what they want and setting goals and taking practical steps towards those goals and thinking about those goals using our executive functioning skills, right? All of that is only done with willpower and intention. It's not naturally wired into our brain to do that. Our brain is much more likely to be focused on and remembering things that were troublesome and upsetting from our past or whatever might be coming in our future. An example of that I had recently. So a
Mm.
couple of days ago, I'm like driving. It's the time of year where the geese are, migrating back and forth, and they often will just like kind of land in parking lots, and in some cases just be wandering across the street. And they were doing that the other morning as I was coming back from the rec center because I have goals, Andre. I have physical
Yeah,
goals. So
that's right. That's right.
the geese were crossing the street. And I remembered back to this time when I was like 20 years old and I was walking down this road and there was a curve in the road and there were these giant geese. I don't know what the specific species was, but much, much larger than the ones you normally see migrating.
Hmm.
And I don't know, I got about 50 yards past them. They're behind me. And then I hear in the distance a car going very fast. As
Oh
it
no.
turns out later, it was a sports car. Um, and as it went around the corner, I hear this giant, squeak, honk,
Oh God.
cry from a goose.
Oh no.
And later on, when I was like returning on my walk, I see this like exploded goose on the middle of the road. And that was a very distressing experience. And it's not a coincidence that I remembered that when I was watching the geese go across the street. That is the fundamental nature of our worried, paranoid, threat biased mind, where here I am at least 25 years later, seeing geese cross the road. And the first thing I flash on is that memory.
I've actually experienced that as well. And I know exactly. I saw this actually happen like a year ago, but I saw a goose on the road and I thought to myself, someone's going to hit this goose. And on the way back home, I saw it smashed on the road.
Wait.
So yeah, I have that same fear with geese. But no, I totally get what you're saying. You're saying that we have memory networks that activate around certain triggers constantly. And there's always a bias, right? There's always a confirmation bias that we're looking at to avoid negativity. And I think the reason why it's so hard lately is because everything is social. It's like it's really hard to tell what your place is socially in the world. It's really hard to understand or control narratives that are out of your hands about you, right?
Right.
Stuff like that. Um, and it's just hard to assess threat because you don't actually know what's going on most of the time in our society. We're not like super interconnected. We're kind of independent, and there's all these ideas out there of what people could be doing. It's never confirmed why your friends act the way they do. It's never really understood. And you're just operating out of this place of like, it must be because something bad is happening, or like it must be because they don't like me, or maybe in the future I won't have these friends. Or I see this a lot with our clients that are teenagers or young adults. And
Yeah,
so,
but even in
hmm,
like when I talk to middle-aged parents about this like phenomenon,
hmm,
they're like, "Oh yeah, I went to the grocery store yesterday." This so like somebody actually told me the story. Like I went to the grocery store and I smiled at this person and she didn't smile back, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, like I'm a terrible person." Like that was her thought, and it's it's so natural to go to these negative things that are like kind of self-esteem or self-conscious like
yeah,
triggers for us or little like insecurities that we have, and that's that's the automatic wiring of our brain. So if we're in that cave with our flashlight, we're just going and like looking at the worst stuff in the cave, right? It's not expansive and balanced.
No.
If we want to have a different kind of life, we have to be thoughtful about what we want to be focused on and then practice that again and again and again.
So how would you do that if it was like in the context of something social, like I just said, or like
I can give you a great example in my
okay,
own life right now.
okay, go ahead.
So, for better or for worse, and we're not going to get into the details of how the world conspired against me to make this happen, but for the Parent Engagement Network's podcast on, or not podcast, their seminar, I don't know, it's a day-long workshop on anxiety and on
Hmm.
helping the caregivers, the parents, like, manage our own stress. So I'm doing the keynote for that at the end of February, February 28th.
Good for you.
I know the date well because it's been rattling around in my mind like, oh, a painful little looming thing. Because the only time that I'm not stressing about it when it comes to my mind consciously is when I'm actively doing some prep work for it. And then I get
Okay.
excited. And I've done talks a ton. If I was just doing a regular talk, it would be fine and easy. And I know how to work with that. But this one, I kind of feel responsibility to not just wing it, but to show up with a well prepared presentation with slides and yada, yada, yada. And the the goal that I have, and one of the things I wanted to talk about today on this podcast is
Hmm.
to kind of speak into existence and think into existence my mind being excited and looking forward to this experience like I would if I was going on vacation to like a warm, sunny beach with palm trees,
Oh.
right? Like if that was happening at the end of February, every time I thought of it, I'd be like, ooh, like that's going to be awesome. Can't wait.
It would be great if you could do that in our friendship every now and then, Like sometimes you don't even say hi to me.
0 stars, not even accurate on any
Not even
level. Just
a
taking
little
a random
accurate. You
swing.
look pissed at me sometimes, but I think it's the natural resting, bitch face that you have sometimes.
Is this during basketball?
Yeah. You're so angry at basketball.
Um,
And then if he plays defense on me, let me just tell everyone the truth. He tries very hard. But anyone else, he's like, it's fine.
um, I have a very different experience of my
Oh,
internal state of basketball.
well,
Basketball is one of the things I
it's
actually
just where I
really
was
look forward
flashing the
to.
light in the cave. I was just flashing the light in the wrong area, I guess.
No, I mean, if that's what you go to every time you see me is that I hate you, that's just a sign of insecure attachment, and we'll try to work with that.
I'm just super
All
insecure.
right, come on, I get 3 stars for that. That was a
Okay,
good
that was
one.
pretty good. That was pretty good. That was
Okay.
pretty
Um, but no, truly for me, like basketball is actually one of the things I look forward to in my week, right? Tuesday and
good.
Friday,
Yeah.
I kind of like dialed in. I am in this sort of life stage as, an elder of worrying like each basketball game could be my last,
Oh God.
right? Could be a career ending injury. That's how it's going to happen. There's no other ending to that story, right? I'm just going to keep playing until I'm like too injured to continue on.
Uh, oh, okay. Well, I was just thinking maybe you can do better maintenance and, you know, just play
Dude, I
smarter.
in like the last 4 months, I've had the best maintenance that I've ever done for
Hmm.
my body to like I have that rule now that I won't play unless I've gone and worked out at the gym and done like core stuff and stretching
Good.
3 times before I get to play that week. So
Oh.
it's I'm working at it, but
Hmm.
I do have elder bones and elder joints and
Elder Bone.
I take lots of supplements. I cannot wait until you're in your 50s so that we can
I
compare
can wait for that.
me today to you at this time. I know it's like 30 years out, but
I well, I think you're doing great.
thank you. I
And on
actually had a
Friday, hey,
great
you
we had
killed it on
fun
Friday.
last time. We had fun
Yeah.
on the same team. And by the way, listeners, Andre was crushing it. You played possibly the best I've ever seen you playing. You were just like dialed in, making like every 3-point shot, just like muscling your way to the basket, just demanding that we were going to win each game. It was beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, I had some support. You were on my team.
Yes, I only went. I was 5 for 13, which is
It was a little disappointing.
not bad for me. I mean, that's probably like my normal stat line if I bother to shoot it all.
Well, but I think when we're talking about the topic of fixating on the negatives, I
Yeah,
actually think that's super relevant when it comes to basketball because a lot of times when people play a sport, they are fixated on missing rather than making their shot.
yeah, yeah.
They're fixating on not missing. Yeah, not missing or missing. They don't want to do that. Instead, the key is to be in the flow, and
Yeah.
shine the light on what it feels like to make the shot, what it feels like to be in the flow. This is
Right. And
actually
just
pretty
have a
cool.
mindset that like you are
Yeah,
going to crush it and you're playing well and that you're going to have like quick reaction speed and good
right.
timing and good footwork and
Because
that
that
everything
mindset will
is,
set you up.
yeah, yeah,
It will change the way you shoot. That split second of doubt will change the way your hand moves. It will change the way your body moves because you just doubted yourself. You know what I'm saying?
right. And there, I think when you're talking about flow state,
Mm,
fear and negative judgment are the things that interrupt flow state.
yep.
When we're little, it's just fear because we're not making judgments. Our mind hasn't gotten to that point, right?
Mm,
So something scary happens and we're suddenly in that part of our brain instead of in the sort of sensory flow of like sensory information in muscle activation responding to that, right? Like we're not in that simple flow if we're in fear.
mm.
But negative judgments, same kind of thing, right? We get in the court, we're like, damn, I look stupid. I can't believe I missed that. Ah, that sucks. Right? Like that is the worst for somebody's mental game.
Yes.
And then our brain is going to a very different part instead of just that sensory flow state. Right? Cognitive judgment is like a slow moving, lumbering mental process that then slows us down physically and changes the chemistry that's going on in our body. So,
So, okay, how do you apply this concept of flow state in sports where you're confident and you're okay and it doesn't matter. I'm doing what I know I could do the best I can. I feel like I'm doing good enough. It's fine. How can you apply that into day-to-day interactions with people? How do you get into a flow state with people?
well, I think it's the same kind of thing, right? You want some positive self-talk
Hmm.
and you want to get back to thoughts and feelings, like focusing your flashlight, right? Your mental energy, your mental thoughts, so to speak, on things that are going to be useful, which is, how can I be of benefit to this person? How are they doing? Right? Just being curious about the other person, right? We definitely don't want the flashlight shining in our own face when we're in a social situation and just being like, oh my gosh, I look stupid. I tried to talk, but my mouth was a little dry and I stumbled over my words. And
But
now
what if it was different? What if it was flashing it on yourself and being like, I'm fine. It doesn't matter. Their reaction is theirs. I'm okay.
that's totally fine, right? We want that in our repertoire because that kind of keeps us from fixating on ourselves. If our brain is looking for things to worry about and we just go, I'm fine, it'll get off of us. And then if we put it on something else, like, how is this person doing? How can I
Mm,
benefit them? Right? Like that's kind of fine. One of the things that I think can be very useful when we're like out in a scene is getting conscious of what our brain does habitually when we like immediately see people, which is that like alarm system will filter people through and go positive, negative, neutral very quickly.
mm,
Most people are neutral, which just means ignore. They're
mm.
not a threat to our lizard brain and they're not particularly appealing, right? We just like
Positive,
sift
negative.
through them, ignore,
Yeah.
ignore, ignore, ignore. A
Okay.
couple people might feel like threats. We're intimidated by them for some reason. We've had some history that was a little negative.
Sure.
They remind us of somebody that we had some history with, not on a conscious level, just on a lizard brain level. Like, oh,
Right.
that's like, a person that looks like, I don't know, one of my parents when they were like, intimidating me or just,
Like kind of,
shaming me or something.
yeah.
So
Negative
the
association.
negative stuff is really tricky in a social situation. And our brain generalizes about negative stuff very easily. The same way that, like, with the geese situation, it's like, okay, now when I see geese walking across the road, that's like the first memory that flashes in my mind. It's not like, oh, what a beautiful thing. Look at all these wonderful geese. Like, time to just stop the car and like breathe and enjoy the scene of nature. Right. I mean, I can consciously do that, but the brain will just quickly generalize from previous experiences that start to taint new ones in a particularly negative way, right? Looking for
Right.
anything that reminds them of a threat or something bad. So when we have that quick negative filter
Association.
on someone,
Yeah.
association, right?
Yeah.
We need to consciously take that in and realize, oh, like there's something about that person that just like, gives me a little bit of a like, like worry.
How do you get your control back in that moment? I actually, you know what? This is a good segue into something I want to talk about. Um, because you
Yes.
said this person was at the grocery store. She said hi to someone. The person didn't say hi back. She felt like a terrible person. That
Yeah.
reminded me. I've been going to the same gym for 20 years, since I was like in high school, and this maybe even middle school actually. This woman has been there the whole time and she's a lot older than me. She's probably your age, but she has always I don't get it. I don't get it. I'm
I'll give you
sorry.
3 for that. 3 star.
She is older than me though by a lot. But she she always glares at me since I was a little like a kid. I don't get it. And I'll see this woman to this day. I saw her this past week when I was working out. And to this day, I have the exact same feeling. Every time I see her, I smile big. It's like a fawn response, you know. I don't know why I do this because I don't like her at all. And I say hi every time. And it's crazy because I've done this for years with her. It's an automatic response, and she does the same thing every time. She gives me this look. It's like a blank stare or maybe a little bit of a, you know, unpleased look.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it is about me, but it does make me feel a certain way. It makes me feel kind of bad. And recently, it's very recent actually. It was probably this past week. I was like, why am I still waving? Like, why am I still saying hi? I say hi to everyone that I see all the time at the Y or at the gym or wherever I go. And she I just thought to myself, what she deserves like to be flicked off by me at this point. It's so overtly disrespectful. And then I caught that narrative and I thought to myself, that's too extreme. That's too over, that's an overcorrection, right? Maybe I should just be neutral and just see that this woman has some issues. Maybe I remind her of something. I don't know what that is, but I started the next time I see her, my goal is to look up and look back down and walk past and not feel triggered the way that I do because it feels like some kind of like she makes me feel like I'm a bad person or something. I don't know how to explain it. Kind of like what you said about the woman at the grocery store. She said hi and then it's not a good feeling, you know?
Right. Right. Can I offer you an alternative option with her?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. First of all, I love your social approach with people. Right.
Okay.
I've started to mimic that with the basketball crew.
Oh, good.
We've talked about this before that Andre comes in and he's just like, "Hey, bro, what's happening?" Like goes up to like everybody and greets them on his way in and just like brings joy. And you've said that like you want to help people feel like seen and validated and that they're showing up there trying to like figure out how to like prove themselves and how to like, sort of like get out there in the world and feel good and confident. And you want to support that. And you do.
Thanks.
I would go in and I would just be like, well, I'm the oldest
You're not the oldest.
Name one person at that gym.
Phil,
No, I'm older than Phil.
he looks so much older than you.
Phil, if you're listening to this, I'm really sorry. Andre said that. I don't believe that at all. You're like a young spring chicken in my mind. Um,
Okay.
but Phil's close. He's like my contemporary. Yeah.
Okay. There's older people. That older guy, that Russian guy, he's pretty old.
Okay. Yes, that dude that shows up. Yes.
Yeah.
He's
Okay.
been gone
We got one.
for a while, but yes, I totally agree. He is,
Older.
I think he's
Significantly.
significantly older. Yeah.
Everyone else is like my age or younger.
Right? Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Right? There's not many people in their 40s.
Yeah.
um, so as a 52-year-old, right, I'm hobbling around and I would just bring in the assumption, right? Because basketball's not my sport. Like I didn't grow up playing that. I grew up playing soccer and ultimate frisbee. And those are the things that I have like childhood muscle memory wired in. So if I haven't touched a frisbee in like 2 years, I can like get back at it like immediately and feel confident with what I'm doing. With a basketball, I never like, right? It wasn't until like my 20s that I started like messing around on the basketball court. So I'm already like not like just sort of dialed in with my like wiring. And then I'm just like, I'm like old. I'm gonna be like,
And all those narratives,
I
man.
just assume that when I end up on somebody's team, they're just like, ah, shit, right? Like he's on the team. So I kind of am sort of like quiet and apologetic as my like natural like entry energy. And if I see somebody, I'll just be like, hey, when I walk in, right? It's like very like,
Oh, you feel guilty for being there.
yes, yes.
Interesting.
Thank you for naming the emotion that resonates. Yes, thank you. Yes. Um,
That's
but,
weird. You shouldn't feel that way.
You gave me this like, I don't even know if you like, just by you being, I was like, I can do that. I can like go in and say hi and like just like greet people as I arrive and like say goodbye instead of just doing like the Irish goodbye as I leave, right? Just be like, all right, have a good one. Just like, acknowledge people. And
Right.
that, I mean, we're playing pick a basketball. It's not like they really give a fuck like at the end of the day
No.
whether or not they won, right? So it's something that's actually been good for me as a practice. And I've gotten like way more social because you've been there kind of like paving the way, which has been
Thanks, man.
awesome, awesome, awesome.
I appreciate that.
Right.
And
So
I'm glad. I've been seeing you talking to people more. It's been nice.
Right.
To watch you open up. Yeah.
Yeah. No, like even in between, like if I'm sitting out a game, instead of just like being completely by myself, which was my MO for like years, I just, go and sit next to somebody and start like just yakking. And yeah. So back to like you with this person, right? Like,
right.
I think
horrible woman. So mean.
Okay. Hang on. We're gonna shift that narrative, right? We're gonna shift that narrative, right? So in addition to that idea of like how can I benefit this person, right, when we're in a social situation, just having the sort of like default of like, I hope this person is having a good day. I hope they're like, not having any bad stuff going on. I hope they have a good time. I hope they're like happy. Just like some sort of positive intention that we just put out there in our mind can often disarm whatever the initial hesitation that we might have or the sort of negative worried thoughts, right? If we intentionally go with something that's like a wish for them to be like, in a good place, feeling good.
Okay.
That can be nice. So I think you're going to have to do something. Right. I think you're going to have to do something a little extra.
Oh, God. For this person?
Well, a lot of
times, they deserve more.
A lot of times people are like playing out past traumas or early childhood wounds in their like present moments, especially like little actions and reactions like that.
Okay.
So you're not trying to, but you could just be like, I hope you're feeling okay. I hope that I can like be a good person and be consistently positive to just help you through whatever it is that's going on.
Smile was in the wave.
Right.
That's
Right.
what I thought
But
that
you've
was.
forgotten what it was, and now you're mad because you didn't get the wave back.
But for years, so many, I get a stare. She makes me feel bad about myself, Dan. And all I've done is been warm.
This is an opportunity to practice secure attachment. You
Oh
don't
God,
need
I'm
affirmation
not
from her.
attached to her.
No,
Okay,
but
fine.
no, you're not. But that's not how
I
attachment
don't want to
is
be
about.
attached to her.
Attachment is about taking the people that we were attached to and whatever that dynamic was. I know you know this, but I'm just saying this for our listeners,
Yeah,
right? And
let them hear.
and playing that dynamic out in like present moment relationships. So if we were anxiously attached, and I'm not saying that you are, although I've said many times before that you are, if we're anxiously
I'm
attached,
just a tad bit anxiously attached, a little tiny
right?
bit.
No, you like right, like you're. I mean, we all have attachment stuff, and you just need to be conscious of it and intentional and work on it and manage it, and then
Like you were
it
highly
doesn't control
avoidant.
you. But here's a great opportunity to work with it.
Okay,
You
let's hear
don't need
this.
anything from her, right?
No.
So you're just trying to put out positive vibes in the world, and she's a great person to practice with because she's not going to like reward you with a smile or a wave back for your efforts. She's got something else going on internally.
But why does she smile and wave to everyone else? What did I do?
These are the questions that we ask when we're anxiously attached in a relationship and we get something from somebody that feels like it's not positive and we assume it's about us,
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
right? This
Yeah,
isn't
it
about you.
feels well, now that you're talking about it like this and you're using the framework of attachment, I can say that like I I the way that insecure attachment at least shows up for me is I am always worried I'm doing something wrong. I'm always worried that I am a worse person than I think I am, like that I might have missed something or I'm not thoughtful enough or whatever it is. Like that was the way I've done a lot of work to get to this point, but where it doesn't bother me constantly. But I do think like I could be doing better constantly. And especially in relationships, like I feel like even with you, I feel like, oh, I don't reach out to him enough, or I probably don't entertain him enough. Like I should probably do more fun things for him or like with him or you know.
I I will like inhibit myself from teasing you there because that's my first impulse. But
I saw that. I saw
my right.
it. I
But
was scared.
what I really want to let you know is that like you've brought like so much like in my very busy parenting life to
Hmm.
have like made like a true and deep friend over like the last 5 years is like whoa, like that's awesome. Like the what we've been able to like create and cultivate and grow is just it's been really meaningful for me and it makes me feel
Aw,
really good. And Friday
thanks,
was a
bro.
great example. You were like pumping me up at the basketball games on Friday. I felt awesome. It was like a peak basketball experience for sure.
All
Um,
right, good. Oh, that means a lot. Thanks for saying it, man. You know what it is, especially as dudes,
mm,
we don't say mushy gushy stuff to each other that often. I mean, we do it on the podcast every now and then, but outside of that, we're pretty mean to each other. As friends. Like that's what dudes do.
right.
Not
No,
not
I mean
not like
we're actually
intentionally.
not right. We're
We're
not.
not actually mean. Yeah.
We're not mean. I mean, I will mess with you during a
That's what it
basketball
is.
game
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
sure.
Like he'll
But
slap me in the face or something.
um, but no, I think that's right. It's like safer as guys, and it's what we've been taught to do is to either mess with somebody, be aggressive, or be totally stoic. Because to show other emotions is to be like sensitive and maybe vulnerable, and that gets like
That's a
shamed
bad thing
when
these
we're in
days.
middle school
Yeah.
and high school, right?
Well, no, and also because guys like they Dude, I think a lot of guys have trust issues with other guys. Like they don't trust that another guy can hold their emotion. Like think
Yeah.
about John, for instance, right? There's so many Johns out there, so nobody knows who we're talking about. But think about this guy, John, for instance.
Right.
That guy wants to connect. He's done some crazy stuff. We've all seen it. I have repeatedly, put my hand out there and been like, I see you, man. We're gonna get like, it's okay. I
Yeah.
still like you.
Yeah.
And it took months. I mean, this guy literally hated me for for being kind to him. And now he's like he'll come up to me and like hug me,
Yeah.
like stuff I never thought he would do. And he'll be more affectionate towards me. But with guys, I think you got to build trust with them. And also, we are taught that being vulnerable is not a good thing. And I actually think that that plays a lot into why there's a huge loneliness epidemic for men. It's not just because they're not in romantic relationships, it's because in their friendships alone with other men, and even if they have friends that are women, they're not going to show that side because it doesn't feel appropriate or right or socially acceptable,
Right. Right.
And so little check-ins like this where I hear you say what you just said, I didn't know. I mean, I know you like me and I know we're close, but I didn't know that that's how you felt. That felt good to hear.
Bam. All right. We're running up against time. So let's just do a quick
You're like, let's
pause.
close it.
We'll jump back onto the next podcast and we'll
Okay.
continue right from here where we left off.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay. Oh my gosh, where's my soundboard? Did I close this? No, there it is. Okay. Like, subscribe. Thanks for listening. Ah, gosh, I double tapped it again.
Therapy dudes, take away your stress, put you in a good mood. If you had them over, they would eat up all your food. It's time for...
Really? I can't find the button.